Okay, so we're off. I got a good start today, just before noon, so should be at the site in an hour and a half or so. Plan to do some fishing along the way. Now I gotta say, I've already disrespected the pickle twice. I've hit rocks twice. I gotta be much more careful. When you're at a new lake and you're not too sure, you gotta be much more careful of where you're boating. All right, wish me luck. The wind's picking up a little bit, but I think we're okay for now. Okay, so the waves are really picked up now in the wind. So I think I'm going to put the camera away, get the double blade out, and get to my campsite. I think I can see the campsite from here, but it's out in the open, so I gotta get going. It looks like there's more waves and wind coming. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, another north adventure. Here we go. Okay, so I made it to shore. It got really windy at the end there. Right on the island over here, the wind's pounding, and actually up through the trees it's really, really windy, but hoping it dies down a bit. It's a pretty nice site. Not big. This island is a tiny island, which is kind of funny, but I kind of like it. So I'll give you a quick tour of the island in a bit here. You get some shots of it, but I think for the most part it's kind of neat. Nice big fire pit. Kind of don't mind making my own fire pit, but you know, what are you gonna do? So far looks good. Not sure where I'm gonna set up the hammock. I got a bunch of different options. Kind of hoping the wind dies down and then I can make some decisions. I'm trying to go without a tarp today. It's not supposed to rain, although it wasn't supposed to be cloudy at all either, nor was it supposed to be windy. So I may have to improvise. I might have to put up the tarp just in case, or maybe I'll put up the tarp halfway, and then if I notice it's going to rain, then I can just flip it over and do it that way. So not too sure. So let me do some investigating, and we'll get going. But so far looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm not even sure you can hear me now. The wind is blowing so strong that levels on my mic are just flying all over the place. I have a windsock on my mic. I don't think it matters. That's my setup. I didn't show a lot of it going up because I literally couldn't control it. I almost lost the tarp twice. The wind gusts, I checked my phone right now, says they're 60 kilometers an hour, and I kind of believe it. The waves on this lake, I've never seen them like this before, so this is my setup. I wasn't planning on setting up the tarp. I took it as a just in case cautionary thing, and sure enough I have to use it. A lot of issues. There's not a lot of great spots here to dig into the ground. Everything is very, very hard and rock, so I've had to improvise a little bit. So, and this is actually my first setup with this tarp on a hammock. I've used the tarp for tent camping and stuff, but this specific tarp, first time on the hammock. So I'm hoping it's going to be okay. I really was hoping to sleep under the stars tonight, but things change. I guess you gotta roll with it. Wish me luck. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm enjoying this chicken garden salad. Like I said, I was supposed to do some fishing today and had a fish fry, but the water's too rough. Even fishing from the shore here is pretty rough, so I'm glad I had this alternative. I was bringing the salad anyways. Decided to add some chicken to it. Funny story, I actually, on the way, I was a bit of a rush, picked up the salad, and then I decided, you know what, I better pick up something else because just in case I don't catch anything, my luck, of course. I picked up some chicken, and I went to a grocery store with a butcher shop. Now, a lot of the grocery stores these days don't have butchers, but this one does, which is great because I actually went up to them, and the chicken I wanted was in a packaging thing, lots of plastic, and I just couldn't take it with me because it was just too big and too messy. So I just asked if I can get it put into the butcher paper, right? Wrapped up in the butcher paper. And the guy was like, yeah, no problem. Went ahead, did it. Took him like 2 minutes. Gave it back to me. Matter of fact, I got a cheaper deal because it was lighter. I don't know how that worked. But anyways, I love the fact that some grocery stores still have butchers. I still go to butchers in our neighborhood, which are fantastic. I really like going to them. I find you get that personalized service like I got here, which was great. So anyways, the chicken turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy about it. I finally let the coals die down on my fire so that I can cook chicken properly because Dave's not very patient, man, and he can burn some food if he doesn't let the fire burn down a bit. Anyways, this looks good. I'm going to finish this. Then I have to prepare a little bit more firewood. I got enough for the night, I think. I'm really surprised I got that fire going because it was windy. So after I built up that fire pit, it worked really well. Again, this is something new to me. Building up a fire pit like that to block the wind. Normally I don't like that because I like to shoot a nice fire with the sunset and all that stuff. So if you have a high fire pit, it doesn't look good. But in this case, building up that fire pit really protected from the wind, allowed me to get a good fire so I can cook my meal. But anyway, so far my whole trip's messed up. I'm still wearing my shorts. Normally when I get to camp, I jump into my my pants to protect myself from ticks or anything. But because this is an island site, there's no real wilderness that I'm going into. Everything's pretty safe for the most part. So, all right, so we're gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna try to do some more fishing. I did try to do some from the rocks over here, but it's really hard. Maybe I'll have to go that way. I'm not sure. All right, fish, get on your hook. The hook is there for you. All you gotta do is take a bite. I'm not even gonna keep you today. I'll get rid of you right away. I promise. I'll put you gently. I won't even throw you off this rock. I'll lay you gently in the water. I promise. So the wind has died down, which is nice. Of course, the bugs have just decided to come out. They couldn't give me a grace period, you know, just for the rest of the night. Just say, hey, you know what? Wind was tough on everybody. We're just going to leave it alone. But no, I'm going to have to get my long sleeve shirt out and stuff. It's okay. Not a big deal. I can handle it. I'll take the bugs over the wind any day. I'm glad I can have a fire tonight. Like I said, I always like having a fire, but crazy day like this, if there was too much wind, I wouldn't take a chance. There's no fire band around here, but we have been pretty dry around here, so wind and fire don't really go well together, so why take a chance, right? Really goes to show you, you can plan a trip and plan. I was really looking forward to today. I'm not saying it was a bad trip. I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm hoping to have a good night's sleep. It's just not what I expected. I planned to be able to sleep in a hammock and under the stars. I did a hammock trip earlier this year in much worse bug season. It was rough, but This time out on the water, I wanted to be able to see the stars over the water. Something beautiful about that. So that's it for me tonight. I'm hoping to have a good night's sleep. Gonna put a couple more pieces of wood on the fire, and then that's it. I really didn't have a lot to choose from here. There was a couple dead trees, which is good. We'll see. In the morning, if I don't have enough, I'll head over to the mainland over there and get some. The wind's supposed to pick up in the morning, of course, but we'll see. Good morning. It is so calm out there right now. The wind has totally died down. The wind actually was bad in times last night and actually woke me up because of the rattling of the tarp. Even though the tarp is pretty tight, the wind was pretty strong. So yeah, that kind of happened. But you know what? I was still able to get a pretty good night's sleep. The wind was still not as bad as it was earlier yesterday afternoon, so that's good. I slept in kind of. It's like 6 o'clock, 6:30. I know that doesn't sound like sleeping in, but sometimes for me it is while I'm camping. So anyways, got to get breakfast going, tear down camp, do some fishing, and then we head out today. But still lots of stuff to do, so let's get going. Okay, I'm all done, all packed up. It went pretty well. I stuffed a bunch of stuff together with my hammock setup, so that's pretty good. So the site is nice and clean. There wasn't much garbage around here. That's pretty damn good. So we're gonna head out. The wind's picking up a little bit. Waves, not too worried about it. Hopefully do some fishing along the way as well. All right, to the canoe. The sea was angry that day, my friend. Like an old man. Running with full soup in his belly. Okay, so the wind's really picked up, so I'm gonna put the camera away, get the double blade out, and get to the car. All right, thanks for joining me on this adventure, or misadventure, however you want to put it. Anyways, I had fun either way, so thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time.